This is where NBA superstars come to play, where fans come to cheer. This is a special place full of exciting moments and amazing technology. This is Chase Center. Hi, I'm Melvin with Discovery Education, and we're coming to you from my hometown of San Francisco, California. Behind me is Chase Center, a massive entertainment arena and the home of the NBA's Golden State Warriors. You may not be able to tell by just looking at it, but this isn't just any building. Everything about this arena is designed to help protect the environment, from the rooftop to the water pipes to the kitchens. The Warriors care a lot about making sure our planet is a safe and healthy place for all of us to live. And so does the entire NBA. So, when it came time to build a new home for the Warriors, they designed a building with lots of special features that would help them achieve this goal. And they did a really good job too. Chase Center is LEED Gold certified. But what does that mean? LEED, or L-E-E-D, stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Think of a LEED certification like a report card that tells you how well you designed a building to help the environment. There are different levels of LEED certification, and gold is one of the highest grades you can get. So, how did Chase Center get a LEED Gold certification? And why is protecting the planet so important for the Warriors and the NBA? Let's head inside and find out. When you think about recycling, you probably imagine putting plastic or paper into recycling bins so they can be turned into something new. But did you know that you can recycle water too? Think about how much water you use every day when you wash your hands, take a shower, or flush a toilet, and you're just one person. Now imagine how much water gets used in a building like this, which can have thousands of people in it all at once. The water that goes down the drain when you wash your hands or take a shower is called gray water. That means it can't be reused for drinking or showering, but it can be reused for something else. At Chase Center, they collect the gray water, send it to the cleaning system, and then back to the bathroom to be used for flushing toilets. Not only that, they also collect the rainwater that falls on the roof and the condensation water that collects in their air conditioning system. All of that gets cleaned and pumped into the bathrooms too. Water recycling is just one of the many ways Chase Center cuts down on waste, and one of the many reasons it's earned a LEED Gold certification. To learn more about the amazing building and how the Warriors are helping to protect the environment, let's meet one of the NBA's first ever sustainability managers.
Hi, I'm Alia Canso. I'm the Golden State Warriors Sustainability Manager. The Sustainability Manager's role is to help protect the planet and help this organization make a positive impact on the world that we live in and the people who live in this world. I am the first full-time dedicated sustainability manager, not only at Golden State Warriors, but across the NBA. And that's really exciting. I think Chase Center is a super special place to come for a lot of reasons. Some examples are our food recovery program. Every time you come to a game, there's lots of really delicious food that's being made, and we save all that food that is still good to eat, and we donate it to local communities who need it. We want our fans to come to our building in sustainable ways. We have a partnership with the public transportation department here where every game ticket or event ticket is a free ticket all day. All you have to do is show them your ticket and they'll let you on, and you can come to Chase Center and leave with public transportation. We have the capacity to recycle water on site. It means that we're not pumping in fresh water all the time. We make sure that we keep the waterways as full as we can, and we're not draining resources where we don't have to. Another project that I work on here is our zero waste initiatives. So zero waste means that we send 10% or less of all of our waste to the landfill. So that means that 90% or more of our waste is either recycling, like bottles and cans, or compost, like organic material, food, or lawn clippings and landscaping. We have a whole team dedicated to sorting through every single piece of trash that comes to this building. So sometimes at home, you'll see 2 different bins, sometimes 3. That's for landfill, recycling, and compost. And our team basically does the same thing, but on a much bigger scale. We have an 18,064 seat arena, so all of the trash that you can imagine that ends up here is being sorted by a team on site to make sure that it goes into the right place and that we do our part to compost and recycle as much as we can. One of the projects I'm currently working on is a compost biodigester. So everything that you see behind me that's under the compost label can go inside of this machine. So the things that we don't use when we're cooking, the bones that are left over, the tops of the carrots that nobody likes, the landscaping waste, that all gets put inside of this machine. And after we put it inside, it starts to heat itself up, and there's these paddles inside that'll start to turn all the material. We don't add anything else, we just put this material in here. And then those materials start to slowly break down, basically with the heat and with the bacteria that is in the material. It starts to get smaller and smaller and starts to break down more and more and more. Our larger machine can process almost 4,000 pounds per day, which is a huge jump from the 200 we're doing here, and it's gonna be a great win for us. We can use this material for a number of things, whether that's back in the gardens. We can also help support tree planting in the city. We can help put it back on our own landscaping, or maybe even in local parks that we have nearby. Compost is super beneficial for a number of reasons. People like to call it black gold because it has so many of the nutrients that plants need to grow. And when folks use compost, it works like a sponge, so you end up using less water. It's super strong, so you end up having to use less fertilizer because it's helping your plants grow really, really tall. And it also helps protect against bugs and things. You end up using less pesticides and less chemicals on it. So compost is really, it's like a superpower because you're saving a lot of time and you're saving a lot of energy, and you're using things that you already have to make it. You should care about the environment because this is the place that you live. The decisions that we make today are gonna affect the world that you live in, and speaking up about that is sometimes scary, but it is really important because we wanna hear from you. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of one single person, but we are in a world full of single people doing things together, and together we really can make a difference.
You may not know it, but the roof of Chase Center is painted white. That's not just because it looks nice, it's also helping to save energy in a very clever way. Did you know that if you go outside on a sunny day wearing a black shirt, you'll feel a lot warmer than if you're wearing a white shirt? This is because darker colors soak up heat from the sun, while lighter colors bounce that heat away. The same thing is true with rooftops. If your roof is painted a dark color, it's gonna soak up a bunch of heat and act like a hot blanket, which means you're gonna have to turn your air conditioner way up to make sure the building stays nice and cool inside. And that means you're gonna have to use a lot more electricity, especially in a building as big as this one. And when I say this place is big, I mean it. Chase Center in Thrive City, the plaza I'm standing in, covers 11 acres of land. That's enough space to hold 36 NBA basketball courts. When you build something that large, it's gonna have an equally large effect on the environment around it, whether that's a small town or in this case, a big city. Donna Daniels is the general manager of Chase Center, which means that she's the one in charge of the whole building. For her, protecting the environment and community around Chase Center is just as important as what happens inside.
Hi, I'm Donna Daniels. I am General Manager of Chase Center, and I am responsible for making sure every fan has an amazing experience every time they come to Chase Center. My job is so fun. I absolutely love being able to come to Chase Center every day, to be able to be a part of bringing in so many people of the San Francisco and the Bay Area to this beautiful arena to experience amazing things, whether that's a game or otherwise, to be able to walk around and be a part of what happens here, to see the smiles on everybody's faces, to walk into the arena and hear everybody singing a song of an amazing artist that's on stage. Like, I could not ask for anything better. Chase Center is a leader in protecting the planet. It is a priority that we think about morning, noon, and night. So as Chase Center was built, protecting the planet was a core priority, but the work does not stop there. It continues in how we operate, and that takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of planning, and it takes a team of dedicated and passionate individuals to continue to bring that priority and that vision to life. On any given night that we have a Golden State Warriors game or a concert, I actually put myself in the position of a fan. I spend a great deal of time walking around as a fan, experiencing what a fan experiences when they come to Chase Center, from the parking experience throughout the whole journey. I definitely eat a lot of chicken fingers. I love chicken fingers. I do that for two reasons. Number one, I love chicken fingers. And number two, I want to make sure that the chicken fingers that we serve are of the highest quality. I feel that if I don't understand what they're experiencing, then how can I and my team deliver what we are promising our fans? There's a lot of ways that we measure how fans feel about their experience when they come to Chase Center. But my favorite one is standing at the door as our fans leave Chase Center. When they have smiles on their faces, I know that across the board, we delivered an amazing fan experience. On any given night, when we bring 18,064 people into a Golden State Warriors game, that brings a lot of trash. That brings a lot that may not be as friendly to the planet as we would like. So it's our responsibility to do something about that. The food that may not be eaten on any given game or an event is donated. That we have the right temperature for the building at the right level to not only keep the fans comfortable, but making sure that we're responsible from an energy use standpoint. That we have the right trash cans so that fans know where to put their bottle or their compost. It is everybody's responsibility to protect the planet, and it does not take that much. If we all commit to doing one thing a day, it all adds up. And those things can come in so many different ways. Putting your bottle into the right side of the trash, turning the lights off when you leave the room, turning the water off when you brush your teeth. Every little bit helps and adds up. We are in a unique position at the Golden State Warriors and Chase Center. We are fortunate to be able to have a fan base who's passionate about this organization. And if we're passionate about protecting the planet, we know they will be as well.
Did you know Chase Center has donated over 5,000 pounds of food since it opened? Amazing, right? Of course, tens of thousands of fans don't come to the NBA arena for food. They come to see the players. The NBA is made up of teams and players in many different cities and states. And while these players all compete with each other on the court, everyone in the NBA is on the same team when it comes to protecting the environment, no matter where they live. And one of the NBA players who cares a lot about that is a forward for the Orlando Magic. So let's head down to Florida and find out how he supports the same work the Warriors are doing here in California.
I'm Franz Wagner. I was born in Berlin, Germany, and I'm a small forward for the Orlando Magic. The league and all the operations that come with it, they have a pretty big carbon footprint, whether it's us flying across the country for every road game, the amount of plastic or trash that comes up in these big events in these big arenas, these big facilities that need AC, need lights, all the stuff that has to work in an arena for a game day, for a practice day. Everything has to work for us to perform. But I think the league has an added responsibility and the players with it as well to speak on these topics. And I think there's also a huge opportunity there to create those things to be environment friendly and have a positive impact. When we first started out in the facility, before practice, after practice, we have food here that's cooked for us, and we'd always eat it on plastic where we just throw away afterwards. And so that was something that I didn't really like. I just remember bringing it up to our nutritionist at the time, and she was like, yeah, you're actually right. We could probably change that pretty quickly. And now we just have two big things where after you're done with your dish, you just put it in there, there's hot water in there. Our kitchen staff cleans it afterwards, and then the next day, obviously, you can reuse it. Like I said, I think there's a lot of moments, in every day where we can be responsible and at least have an awareness for taking care of our planet. A couple of things that I try to do is when I leave my place or when I leave a room to always turn off the light, turn off the TV every time I leave. Don't let the water run too long, like stuff like that. My brother is Mo Wagner. He plays on the team as well. And we live together in the city because we just want to spend as much time together as we can. And obviously we have the same schedule. We play for the same team. So we always use the same car when we go to work. It's good for the environment and we get to spend some more time together. So we try to do that every day. One thing that I sometimes think about, when I'm done with my career, and I'm not always in the spotlight and people don't always want to listen to what I have to say, I don't want to look back and say that I didn't use that time the way that I wanted to or speak on things that are important to me. So yeah, I think when you have that opportunity, it's important to be proud to be a role model or maybe someone that people can look up to and that you can have an impact on. I think the one thing that I would like people to know is that there is a lot that they can do, and it's not just people that are in the spotlight or famous people or big companies that can have an impact. Everybody can be a part of it and everybody can have a positive impact. Every little small thing matters in my opinion, and I think it brings a lot of opportunity to be creative and add new ways of living and add new ways of using things. And I think we need more people in this world that think like that and have ideas about how we can use this planet, the resources that we have, for the maximum amount of time that we have.
We've learned about so many things the Warriors are doing to make a difference for our planet. But we've also learned how players like Franz are doing their part with other teams across the NBA. Chase Center is just one of many arenas after all, and the NBA wants to help protect the environment in every place their teams play, including cities many of you might live in. One of the people making sure the entire NBA works together to achieve this is Tiffany Lau. She's the NBA's venue development and strategic oversight lead, and she works at NBA headquarters in New York City. Let's head over to the East Coast to meet her.
Today we are at the NBA headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. There is a great energy involved in working for the NBA. You definitely see basketball everywhere in our NBA offices. You see court finishes, you see basketballs, you see NBA colors, jerseys, the trophy. You can't miss it. An arena is a building where sports and basketball games are played. It can also host a variety of other events like hockey, concerts. So it's really a large venue where all sorts of events are taking place. In my role, we work with arenas to make sure that their building is ready for an NBA game, whether it's during the regular season or for our events like All-Star and Finals. So it includes anything from court lighting to camera platforms to media spaces. It could be something as simple as shower head height in locker rooms because our players are so tall. All the different components that make up a building. This season, we've introduced the requirement to have an arena sustainability lead, and this person is meant not only to manage and inspire the sustainability program within their organization, but it's also meant for us to have someone to go to understand what each arena needs to help push their sustainability programs forward. Alia Kanzo is our sustainability lead with the Golden State Warriors and Chase Center, and we've worked closely with her. They've learned a lot through their experiences, and they've been so willing to share their lessons learned with other arenas. Collaboration in our arenas is a huge component of how we progress our sustainability programs across the league. Teams might be competing against each other on the court, but behind the scenes, we are collaborating between the league and our arenas to help progress their sustainability program forward. We have one arena who is a strong leader in their waste operations. They've done a lot in waste diversion like recycling, composting, donations to make sure that the majority of their waste doesn't end up in landfill and is reused for other purposes. Another example of a leader in our arenas, they offer cups and plates and other serviceware that could be reused within the arena instead of having single-use items. So that is a huge accomplishment, especially on the scale of a 15 to 20,000 fan arena. A few years ago, the NBA headquarters was renovated, so sustainability was a large focus of that renovation. It was able to achieve LEED Silver certification in interior design and construction, and that included several elements like repurposing some of our basketball equipment. It also looked at water reduction by choosing fixture types that use less water for our sinks, our toilets. It also looked at energy efficiency, and all of our lights are LEDs, meaning that they use less energy. One of my favorite features that were part of the renovations of the New York office that represents sustainability is the repurposing of our old basketball courts. And that's seen all across our floors in our NBA office. So this is one of our NBA workspaces. So you can see here our cubicles, it's a workstation, and at the end of the workstation is something that looks like a court. And it looks like a court because it is a court. It's from our NBA Mexico City game in 2016. So this is an example of efforts that were done in our renovations to reuse materials that we already had, reusing the court floors, for example, instead of using new materials. Having our courts in our offices also adds to the energy of our NBA spaces. There are players that have played on this court, so this was actually used for one of our NBA games. It just gives that sense of community and brings us to what we're all here for, which is our games and our fans. I'm really proud to be part of an organization that cares about the environment, that cares about the future of the people that are part of that organization, because really it impacts so much more than what our game is. It impacts communities, wildlife, the future of our cities. It's about caring about our fans, about the people that work for our organization, about our teams and players. It really means more than caring about just the game itself.
As we've learned today, the NBA is working hard to make sure professional basketball does its part to protect this planet that we all share. Chase Center is an amazing example of that work, but it's important to remember that caring for the environment is a responsibility we all share. And there are a lot of things you can do to help support the NBA's work and make a difference in your own communities. For example, the Chase Center is designed to not waste water, right? You can make sure to turn off your faucet when you're brushing your teeth so that extra water doesn't go down the drain. The roof of this building is painted white to save energy. You can make sure to turn off lights when you're not using them so that energy isn't wasted. And the Warriors recycle a lot of their building's trash. You can do that too by making sure you put things like plastic in recycling bins instead of trash cans. Huge arenas like this can make a big difference in the environment. But when a lot of people like you and me do a lot of small things to take care of the planet, that could be a big difference too. Remember, when it comes to protecting the environment, we're all on the same team. Let's go! Woo!